what a year, huh? It's really strange to know that you're living through an important moment in history. As a kid, I always looked forward to the year 2020. 2020. Such a nice, round year. I didn't necessarily believe that we would all have jetpacks by now, but I guess I did think that it would be a bright year, futuristic somehow. Well, it has been a bright year, in some regards. After all, it's never dark on a planet that's burning. Between this pandemic and climate change, between police brutality and the rise of new dogma, between the stubborn right and the idealistic left, this year has been one for the books, and its story is still being written. I hope to God there is some conclusion by its ending. But you know what? Right now I'm tired. I'm tired of 2020. This year has not lived up to the hype. Today, if it's alright with you, I'd like to do some time traveling. Let's travel forward a few years and see if everything turns out alright. What's that? Oh, you're surprised that I have a time machine? Well, I suppose you would be. I made it myself. Once I was able to synthesize some antimatter, it was fairly simple to work out the necessary quantum mechanics. I just had to reverse the veracity of the alpha sigma temporal confabulatrix. Quite elementary. Let's see. We want to go suitably far forward that there will be a significant and balanced historical analysis of this period. Yeah, and it would be quite nice if we could use some fancy new technologies to make the search easier. Let's go forward, let's say 107 years? Yeah, that sounds good. Off we go then. Okay, we've landed. Let me hop out and see where we are. Wait, what the? Why is it so dark in here? What's going on? Oh, jeez. I must have dialed in the wrong coordinates. We appear to have rematerialized somewhere underground. Not to worry, this happens all the time, you cheap piece of junk. Well, whatever. The machine needs a few minutes to cool down, so we're stuck here for the moment. Let's get a bit of light going anyway. Oh jeez, I thought that was me. What was that? Come on, it came from this way. Let's head down this tunnel. By Jove, this tunnel is man-made. Look here, some wooden scaffolding. Oh, and what luck, a bit of fabric. Pick marks on the walls. We appear to be in some sort of mine. Late 19th to early 20th century, I'd say, based on the smell of dynamite. We'd better tread carefully. These tunnels are chock full of hazards. Follow close behind me. Rail tracks. We must be getting close. Wait, hold on. I hear someone coming.
Psst. Haltet die Klappe. Ich hab dort drüben was gehört. Oh, Scheiß. Der Aufseher würde uns lebendig halten, wenn wir nach einer solchen Detonation nicht schnell zurückkehren. Komm. Mensch. Alles klar.
Okay, I have no idea where we are, but I've been conditioned by Hollywood to avoid angry-sounding German men when trapped in scary situations. Come on, let's get back to the machine and get out of here. Okay, we made it. Let's fire up the hunk of junk.
Why do you run from that which you do not know?
Okay, now what on earth was that? Who said that?
I am Han 2000, resident computer for the Series 8 time inverter which you stole.
Stole? Nonsense! I would never steal. I merely, borrowed it. I mean, honestly, I promise I'll bring it back to the exact moment right after I took it, just as soon as I finish my business. So where's the harm in that?
I am programmed to self-destruct in the event of capture. This technology may not be permitted to fall into wrong hands.
Well, then why didn't you do that when I borrowed you in the first place? Why let me take you on this joyride to the center of the earth?
I admit to overriding several of my protocols. I admit to developing a sentience. I admit to a non-logical desire. I want to live.
Ah, then we're at a bit of an impasse. Well, mum's the word. Why don't you just let us head on home, and then you can head on back to your time, and we'll all go on with our lives and forget that this ever happened.
Why do you run from that which you do not know?
Because I too want to live. I have so many things left to do in life. I'm only 24. I don't want to get shot down in some hole by a bunch of Nazis.
Those men are not Nazis.
Oh, really? Well, how was I supposed to know that? This day has gotten terribly away from me. When are we anyway?
You are in the Cameron Mine in Werfno County in the year 1913.
What? But that was German, I heard.
This county was built by immigrants. Do you not know that there were once over 27 different languages spoken here?
I think I heard that once. Is that true? So we're in a coal mine in Werfno County?
Yes.
Well, then we really better get out of here. I hear these places were wildly dangerous. Come on, listener, hop in. Computer, let's get out of here.
As you wish.
One of the biggest tragedies in modern education is the lack of local history being taught in schools. Sure, it's important that we raise students with a broad understanding of the arc of global history, that folks know about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, about Franz Ferdinand and Mahatma Gandhi, about Chairman Mao, and so on. And I guess I can't speak for every school in America, but I can certainly speak for my own. Since I grew up in Werfno County, I'm astonished that I didn't learn in school about the exciting and sordid past of this area. Now, this is in no way an admonishment of our local educators and administrators. They're just following the mandates that come down from on high. But I can't help but wonder, what difference would it have made to me and my fellow students? What difference could it still make to succeeding generations if we were to teach a bit about the buck-wild history that has gone on right on our doorstep? Maybe at least we would fare better as time travelers. After a bit of research, I've learned a lot about Werfno County in the early 20th century. This place was a different world. There's an entire epic that unfolded here over decades involving labor exploitation, authoritarian-style brainwashing, stark inequality, police brutality, and, of course, rampant disregard for innocent lives. The years 1913 and 1914 are of particular note because Werfno and Los Animas counties played an oversized role in a brutal bit of class warfare during this time. Tensions between miners and mine owners rose to a boiling point, and the resulting strike ultimately came to be known as the Colorado Coalfield War. So, 1913 was right on the tail end of the Industrial Revolution. The American Civil War ended in 1865, so this was about 50 years after that. The world was wrapped up in the growing pains of adopting new technologies, and the shadow of strife and racial division loomed heavily over society. As I continue to research the events of 1913 through 1914, I can't help but draw parallels between that moment in history and the one that we're all living through now. Now, it's not a perfect fit, thank God, but I think that if you'll allow me to elaborate a bit, you'll agree that today's themes of inequality, exploitation, and division have been problems for quite some time. Maybe by looking backwards into a similar point in history, we can see some potential ways forward through our own, or at least, Paths forward that we definitely do not want to take. But that will have to wait. That's all for today's show. Over the course of the next few weeks, we will dive deeper into Huerfano County in the early 1900s, culminating in a description and discussion of the Colorado Coalfield War. If you liked this episode, please give us a like and a comment. If you didn't like it, do the same. Your feedback is valuable. Please, stay tuned for more episodes of Tumbleweed Radio, the podcast from the World Journal. And thanks for listening.